Yum, 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 yeah, blah, 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 blah. I'm so tired. All right, I can do this. Hey there, little stars. My name's Ichio, but you can call me Kira, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we are back playing some Seduce Me, the episodes, and today, we are reading through Eric's, and it is called My Princess. Because of course it is. Of course it's called My Princess. We're going to be reading through his episode today. Here are the lovely credits of all the wonderful people who worked on it. I just don't remember this side story, so I'm excited to learn about it and watch it again. So I'm looking forward to it. A quick reminder before we hop into the game that if you do like the video and want to support my channel, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button, as well as hitting that notification bell to get notified when I upload a video, upload a short, or when I'm live here on my channel. With that out of the way, let's hop straight into the video. My beautiful princess, I am yours forever. Eric and I have been living the perfect fairy tale, and I couldn't be happier of the fact. However, something still intrigues me. What was life like for Eric as a noble? I'm excited. I haven't read this one in a hot minute, so I'm looking forward to finding out what this is about. All right, first off. Oh, caps lock is on, clearly. There we go. When you're dating someone, you expect surprises. Depending on who you're dating, the surprises can range from a new habit they may have or something that may change how you see them. When it comes to dating a demon, the possibilities become endless. That's right. I was in love with a demon. The many surprises he showed me included him being an incubus, him having tentacle powers. Michaela, why? What? Okay, and him being an ex-noble from a large, expanding kingdom. I didn't think anything could take the cake on top of these things. I was wrong. I found myself dressed to the nines, sitting in my fiancé's luxury car as we dove into the city of Chicago. I didn't wear fancy clothes often, so feeling the lavish fabrics of the gown I was wearing against my skin was almost uncomfortable. Still, I had to admit, when I saw myself in the mirror, I was floored at how I looked. I was in a beautifully designed red and black dress with matching heels and jeweled accessories. Oh my gosh, can I read, please? Still, I still would never know how Eric was able to obtain it all, but he gifted the gown, the shoes, and the jewelry to me with a simple smile. A part of me knew that he had made the dress by hand. He owned a custom suit shop and had accessories. My God, please! He owned a custom suit shop and had access to the finest fabrics in the city. His skill wasn't limited to suits, however. He could make anything that was deemed as formal wear. So okay. My watch is telling me to stand up, and I'm telling it to itself. As for the shoes and jewelry, I couldn't figure it out and decided to let it go. The drive into the city became one filled with curiosity. Why did I have to be dressed up? Where exactly were we going? Eric?
Yes, my princess?
Hi, Chris. Hi, Chris. I still only hear Ian. Where are we going? A chuckle escaped Eric's lips as he continued to drive into the night.
I told you, it's a surprise.
A surprise that requires me to dress up like I'm going to a prom? I feel like the music's a little loud. Hold, one moment. That feels better. A surprise that requires me to dress up like I'm going to a prom.
Not a prom, exactly.
Eric. Eric's smile grew as he lowered his hand from the wheel and took a gentle hold of mine, bringing it to his lips and laying a butterfly kiss over it.
I promise you will enjoy yourself. You have my word.
Okay. Sure, Eric. Sure, Chris. I stared at Eric, a small blush adorning my face at his gentle words and kiss. Giving up at last, I nodded and simply let him guide us further into the heart of the city. Chicago was a beautiful city, especially at night. The lights that illuminated the streets and buildings were a grand sight to behold, and the lively aura of the night's energy that filled every alley and sidewalk was simply enchanting. You could take me out of Chicago, but you could never take the love of Chicago out of me. To my surprise, the traffic towards our destination was almost non-existent. We were in the richest part of Chicago, and at last we arrived at our destination, one that took me completely off guard. The outside looked like a regular business building. At the very top of the tower was a large sign that said, "The Gateway." In bright yellow colors, something about it stood out, somehow, which made me curious. What was in store in this place? Eric led me out of the car, opening my door for me and escorting me out with a gentle hand. As he closed the door behind me, a man dressed in a bellboy's suit rushed up to Eric and held out his hand. Eric dug his hand in his tuxedo pocket and finally took out a small white envelope, passing it and his car keys to the bellboy. The bellboy took the items and quickly rushed to the driver's side of the car, driving it off like a valet. I watched the car head into a nearby parking lot as I unconsciously took Eric's arm. As I turned back to him, I could tell that I was in for more surprises. He handed me a mask and silently instructed me to put it on as we walked up the steps to the door. It fit like a glove. A pair of bellboys opened the door for Eric and me, revealing a lavish lobby with a single large pedestal platform in the middle of the room. Stepping up to it, we were stopped by a large woman in a dress suit.
Invitation?
I love that person. Whoever did that line, you were amazing. I love you. I loved that line delivery. That was amazing. Wait. One more time for video.
Invitation?
I think that's Michaela, actually. Michaela, that was beautiful execution. Beautiful. Loved it. Voice acting, 10 out of 10. I looked at Eric, watching him take out a golden slip of paper from his pocket and pass it to the woman. The guard looked over the parchment before nodding to Eric and stepping away from our path to the pedestal. Where on earth were we going? I remained silent as we stepped up to the platform and settled in the middle of it, Eric guiding us to stop and stay still in place. Eric nodded to the guard, who simply nodded back and waved her hand in the air. As she did, the pedestal beneath us suddenly shifted and began to rise into the air. Whoa! I gripped Eric tightly as the platform beneath us ascended through the building. All around us were sights of pictures and diamond chandeliers. Wherever this was, I could tell that this was by no means a regular event. When we reached the top floor, or what I assumed to be the top floor, we were greeted by a pair of women in waitress suits, bowing to us in respect. As their bird tail feathers and pure black eyes presented themselves to me, I knew then that this was a demon party. The doors opened to a large ballroom, one that definitely didn't seem to fit the inside of a suite room. Ugh. All around were couples and groups mingling and dancing elegantly to the sound of Victorian-style orchestral music. I was astonished. Even as I was led in by Eric, everyone was dressed in modern formal wear with a range of dresses and tuxedos. It was almost dizzying how much the aged music clashed with the modern fashion of the patrons. Yet I couldn't tear my eyes away from the sight of the guests. Wow.
Welcome to a small taste of the demon world, my princess.
What do you have planned, sir? I am suspicious. Something's not right here, sir. What are you hiding? We're in for it, aren't we? The guests were all demons, some with horns, some with tails, and the rest with an assortment of different looks. It was a What is that word? Hold. Pause for a moment while I Google a word. No! Stop it! No! God damn it. Conglomerate. That's the bitch. Okay, let's try that again. The guests were all demons, some with horns, some with tails, and the rest with an assortment of different looks. It was a conglomerate of people, and I felt a bit out of place as someone who looked obviously human. As we stepped further into the space, a voice chirped out.
Eric, my boy, come fly over here, will you?
Oh, hello. I'm so confused at what's happening. I looked over to see a bird man with a polished tuxedo wave us over with a very handsome gentleman with mouse ears on his arm. Despite the nerves running through my system, Eric and I walked over. As Eric bowed his head, I quickly curtsied. For some reason, the way the birdman carried himself made him seem like a prince. I was in awe of his gorgeous tail feathers and beak, accented by the lavish suit he wore.
Connor, you look splendid. I assume you approve of your tuxedo?
Approve? I absolutely love it! Ricardo here won't let go of me because of it.
Aww! Gay couple! Yay! So cute! I looked over to the mouse man, whom I assumed to be Ricardo, as he smiled coyly and hugged Connor's arm tight, nodding in agreement of Connor's words. I smiled a bit as Eric laughed.
Very good. Well, thank you for inviting us to your anniversary celebration. It is an honor to be in such company.
Nonsense! Thank you for attending! As the son of the most powerful demon in the abyssal planes, it's only proper to invite you regardless. My only regret is not inviting your brothers. I must seem so rude.
Eric waved his hand dismissively.
Think nothing of it. We actually denounced our titles when we came to this world.
You don't say? Well, good on you! You do such fabulous work as a designer here. It's no wonder that your suit shop is unmatched.
Aw, that's really cute! Wait, that's so cute! I kind of love the idea that Eric came to the human world and he immediately became like a fashion designer. I think it's so cute. I really like it. I don't know why. Something about Eric just like it fits like a creative mindset in me. Like it's very creative. It's very sweet. I love it. I really like that he's a fashion designer. I like that a lot. I think that's really cute. Connor finally turned his head to me and cocked it in curiosity. I felt a bit small under his gaze, but smiled respectfully back.
And who might this lovely lady be? A human?
Eric nodded and lifted my hand to his lips, kissing it respectfully before our conversation partners.
This is my wonderful princess. I asked her to accompany me tonight to show her how elegant a demon ball can be.
Well, technically Mika's not totally, technically she's, better word for her would she would be immortal, but technically she's a witch.
How marvelous! I rarely get to meet humans. It is an absolute delight to meet you.
Oh my god, he's so sweet. I love him. I love him so much, and his partner's so cute. I love this. This is a really cute story so far. I love this. Connor held out his hand towards me, making me place my hand in it out of manners. Instead of kissing my hand, he lifted it to his beak and gently nipped a couple times at the back of it, making me giggle a bit. It's a pleasure to meet you too. Connor released my hand and smiled at me before looking back to Eric.
Well, Eric, princess, it's been an absolute pleasure to meet you. Please enjoy the ball. Dance and eat as much as you like.
Oh my god, this is so cute. I love this.
We shall. Thank you.
With that, Eric and I walked away from Connor and Ricardo, both of whom were waving at us before turning to find new conversation partners. So this is a demon ball?
Yes, princess. You've been curious about what life was like for me in the demon world, yes?
Ooh. I nodded. I was indeed curious about Eric's life in the demon world, but I didn't expect him to give me an experience. This was completely out of the blue. Eric gestured to the room where the couples on the dance floor were waltzing in sync. It was mesmerizing.
Well, this is a perfect representation of how Demon Royal celebrated. We had elegant balls filled with dancing and food, and they would only end when the sun came up.
Damn. Really? I thought the demon world was like the Dark Ages. This seems like a fairy tale ball, not really medieval. Eric chuckled and walked with me around the dance floor, continuing his explanation.
The demon world may be stuck in the Dark Ages, but we do take inspiration from the human world. Your fairy tales inspired our celebrations.
That's adorable. That's so cute. I love. I couldn't stop staring at the dancers and the demons in the room. There were so many people dressed up like royalty that I felt almost underdressed. There were some glances my way, but none with ill intent. It was probably natural since I was a human in a room full of demons. Slyly, Eric led me onto the dance floor and began to waltz with me to the music. We remained outside of the crowd, dancing to our own beat and sways as the rest of the dancers kept in time and step with the synchronized dancing. So, instead of getting phones and computers, you got balls and dresses?
You are correct. The demon world has no need for computers or phones, but new traditions of celebration are always welcomed.
No raves or clubs? Oh, could you imagine the Demon Brothers going to a fucking rave? Oh, I would. Oh, if Michaela was still writing story episodes for the Seduce Me, I would so ask for a rave episode where the boys go to a rave. That'd be so funny.
Too human for our tastes.
No light shows or DJs?
That would require electricity, my princess, which we don't care to use. To us, it's a waste of energy.
Fair enough. I pursed my lips at Eric as he slowly began to ease us into the crowd. I barely noticed the dancers moving aside and stopping their dances to stare at us as I locked eyes with Eric, continuing the conversation. Do demons have balls often?
Unfortunately, no. Hosting celebrations take a large amount of resources, so we save balls for only the most grand of occasions.
Oh. Like birthdays?
Demons don't celebrate birthdays, princess.
No?
However, we celebrate the peaceful uniting of kingdoms or the crowning of a new ruler.
They don't celebrate birthdays. Ah! Where was my birthday episode? I needed that. I'm kidding. Oh gosh. No, but no birthdays. That's so sad. I became fascinated even as Eric began to twirl me around and add elaborate steps into the dance between us. We both focused on each other as we let the world around us fade into a blurred outline of people and decor.
However, the human world has provided demons here the means to celebrate many more things.
Aww. Like Connor's anniversary? Eric nodded and dipped me for a moment, staring deep into my eyes.
Exactly.
Aww, this is really cute. I have to relook at who did the art, but this is really pretty. Props to the artist. I held on to Eric, mesmerized by his lovely purple eyes. I squeezed his hand gently and caused him to lift me back up and hold me close in a loving embrace.
And one day, I would love to hold an elegant ball for our union.
That's really cute! I've mentioned this before. I'm not a big fan of like Eric's personality in Seduce Me 1, but Seduce Me 2 Eric is the most sweet, loving man that has ever existed. And this is such like Seduce Me 2 Eric, and I love him. I love him so much. He's so sweet. There's no extra flowery words. It's just genuine honesty, and it's so romantic and so sweet. I love this kind of Eric. Eric like this. And Chris, can we just give a prop to Christopher Escalante for a moment? And his phenomenal voice acting in this scene. I love it so much. Props to Chris. Good job, Chris. This is really romantic. This is really cute. Eric. My face began to glow a soft rosy red as I smiled at my prince. I loved him with every ounce of my being, and a fairy tale wedding and a ball seemed like a perfect way to celebrate. I stretched up on my toes and kissed Eric ever so gently before pulling away with a giggle. I would love that. Eric stared at me in surprise for a moment before chuckling and nuzzling his head against mine, a playful but loving smirk against his lips.
My beautiful princess, I am yours forever.
Oh, that's really cute. And I am yours, my Prince Charming. And the night became one of fairy tale dancing and a seemingly happy ever after for me and my demon prince. Oh, that was really cute! I loved that! Oh my god, Eric is such a dreamy guy. Seduce Me too, Eric. I freaking love him. That was really cute. I am so happy I read that. I did not remember what that story was about. This is my first time actually experiencing it myself. But I loved that. That was really cute. Oh, but that is the end of the episode. Thank you all so much for watching. It was so cute. I loved that. Oh my gosh, I'm like harping on it because it was really cute. But that is all I have for you all today, little stars. So I shall see you all another night. Until then, keep shining.